So you can know by the way Marvin was banging on that door.
You didn't even say it was an accident.
But something about watching Kanan because he deserved it, and I miss Lou, and Lou did not deserve to go out like that.
Juke can, you know, there's people can sing. Juke can sing.
You see, Breeze doesn't discriminate when it comes to who he needs to beat up. Like, it seems like he has any opening and he's gonna resort to violence. Hey, fans of the Power Universe. We want to hear all of your theories and hot takes on the latest episode. So please leave a message on our hotline, 443-457-3179, and be a part of the show. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to For the Love of Power. I'm Queen PR.
Brian H. Waters is here.
Yeah. So I'm rocking my Yankee jersey real quick because, you know, Power is definitely a New York show. We've talked about how they film in my neighborhood all the time here up in the Bronx. But I was able to be a part of the Jay-Z anniversary shows at Yankee Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
I went the Saturday night show, the Blueprint show. It was amazing. So I just want to just give a quick shout out to my fellow Jay-Z fans, my fellow Bronxites, my fellow New Yorkers. This has been a very special summer so far.
Where do you think Jay-Z will fall at in the Power universe?
That's a good question. He would definitely be closer to Ghost if Ghost was able to get out and actually like achieve the life that he wanted to live. Like if he had a different woman in Taj, like if he broke up with Taj back when he probably should have, and then by the time the OG Power started, like his wife was already like Beyonce. You know what I mean? Or someone that wasn't a fucking her rat at the end of the day.
So you think maybe Ghost?
So then his fate would have been differently. Like it wouldn't he would be still alive.
Yeah.
Doing his
so
thing.
Ghost and Angela and Beyonce and Jay-Z could have been going on double dates.
Ghost wouldn't be on Jay-Z's level.
But I'm just saying, like, okay, like where would he fall in? Like, would they be like if Jay-Z was around?
I'm saying he would have elevated more than Ghost because he would have had a different woman in his corner at the right time.
Okay. And found his way to hang out
you
with
know?
him.
Oh my
That's
God.
what I'm going.
You just want, for some reason, Angela to be a part of everything, and I'm very confused.
I like that. Angela and Ghost together.
Me too. I don't mean they got to be hanging out with Jay-Z and Beyonce.
But if Jay-Z falls in the Power universe, I'm thinking that maybe, you know, maybe like the clubs, maybe Jay-Z make an appearance. Like that's how elevated Ghost Club would be.
Make an appearance.
And maybe they come to some business deals.
Jay-Z's people, and they would come to terms with the planning, and then Jay-Z makes an appearance, and then Ghost hopes to like maybe meet him.
Wow, some people actually talk to Jay-Z. Oh gosh, Ghost would be one of the.
I just think
he lives in Tribeca.
I just don't see them being peers. I don't see them. Okay, sure. Okay,
all right.
So you saying that in the Power universe, Jay-Z and Ghost would be on the same.
Well, clearly, if you're putting Jay-Z in the Power universe, you gotta dumb him down a little bit.
I still describe the experience.
Okay, all right, that works. Well, we know one thing.
But that's what I would say. You said where they would fall, and I thought like what character they were.
Okay,
so
that's
like an elevated
because I don't want to change.
You know,
I don't want to change Jay-Z. I still want to have the music, but I was wondering because if he's in the Power universe, I'm not getting the class. You're kidding me? I'm not getting the music.
Yeah. Like maybe they do business together.
Yeah. Well, we wouldn't know one thing. He wouldn't be hanging with Uncle Marvin.
Oh no. Oh God. So all right. So let's get into this week's episode of Raising Kanan. Episode 5. We knew that it was gonna get crazy because of the simple fact that it was halfway through the season.
Yep.
So we kind of predicted we was like next episode is gonna be crazy because of that. It's about time. Like it's like we're in a pressure cooker right now, and it's like something had to give.
Yeah.
And we thought, you know, we knew Rock was gonna fold at some point. And we'll get into that. So this was a phenomenal episode. It was like, you know, high stakes. I felt like the entire time. You know, it really sucks to see, and we talked about it, like family conflict elevating to that point, or escalating, I should say, to that point. Where y'all are making moves on each other, like as if y'all are just like random business partners in the street. So we got Kanan right now. Him and Breeze are really just, causing havoc around Queens, basically trying to take it over. So you see more of how unstable Breeze is and how quick he is to resort to violence. Like we seen, him kill one of his right hand men that he trusted for a long time, and he was able to put him down that quickly. And now you see the people that he works with who are really, doing the right thing. Kanan pops up, taking the place of what's his name? And everyone's like, yo, who are you? Like, yeah. And they're like, yo, you know who I know. And he gets killed for that. You see, Breeze doesn't discriminate when it comes to who he needs to beat up. Like, it seems like he has any opening and he's gonna resort to violence. Like, even his own people who are essentially doing the yes. And we talked about how his mannerisms and how his arms are always swinging and it always kind of looks like he's ready for war.
Yep.
And we all know that person. And they're usually, like I said, unhinged. So just seeing Breeze, be that person, and Kanan getting influenced by it, especially in the state of mind that he's in right now. So with Breeze, it's kind of like, this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
Of what we're gonna see with them.
Yeah, let me ask you this real quick. How often do you go back and watch some of those clips that's been circulating social media very heavy about where it's Ghost talking to Tariq about Breeze, or even, when they show Breeze's apartment. And then this time we saw Breeze's apartment and it was like, this is sort of like a flashback, flash forward type of thing.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like every week I see somebody say, more and more, I see why Ghost took him out.
Seriously. And you could also see how much he probably at some point meant to Kanan, and why Kanan came out of jail ready for that revenge immediately for killing Breeze, and why he felt the need to tell Tariq that his father killed Breeze, and all of that kind of stuff. And it does seem like Breeze is that kind of person, like if you didn't strategize on a way to kill him, and then of course setting Kanan up. So it's like those kind of erratic people like them, there's only a couple ways that you could like get over on them. And Ghost was smart enough to find those ways.
Yeah, that's his brother.
And we just see how cutthroat Kanan ends up being. And then Breeze is considered, they think that they're brothers. Kanan kind of knows deep down inside that's not really his brother, even if Defcon is Breeze's father, which I still think, we all know he was gay. We all know that snaps and pops can be very manipulative.
Yep.
So I still am questioning whether or not they are actually like blood brothers. Like there's so much to that, which is, gives you more context of like what makes Kanan such a like angry person. And you got to think of just those little things, that Rock has, essentially put him through. So you see Rock is, she's really struggling right now because, she has the weight of the world as far as knowing what really happened to her little brother and with Kanan. And now she's literally at war with Kanan. Kanan made a move on her last episode previously, with one of the judges, with her with that stuff. Then, just so many different things that she's, angry at. And we see them kidnap one of Kanan's delivery guys on the scooter, and she kills him, which I felt so bad because the delivery guy just felt like one of those like young kids. Because you got to remember where Kanan's delivery guys came from. Like these were like decent guys in the neighborhood that was just trying to make a little extra cash. And Kanan hijacks that business, and now they like sell dope around the city, like on scooters and shit. But that operation is now part of a much larger operation because of everything that Kanan's into. So, but you look at this kid and he's probably just somebody that was just making some extra cash. You know what I'm saying? Like Rock Ultimate Soldier, but he had on a freaking striped polo shirt. And like, like I don't think he was a soldier. Like I think he was just a young kid that got wrapped up in the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And she ends up killing him. And she, of course, like the highlight of is Marvin finally finding out and beating the shit out of Kanan. But I do want to, I kind of want to save that for the end, if that's okay with you. But now you just see Rock is really struggling. Linguini is not letting up. he's like, anyone that's working with her is an enemy of mine. She gotta go. Tells Breeze, like, something's gotta be done with Rock. Tells Kanan, something gotta be done with Rock. He's like, do what you gotta do,
Mhm.
basically, which is heartbreaking. So you have to also think about what's gonna be Rock's fate
Yeah.
in this show, you know?
I wonder that, we've seen clips online where, again, people, because this is such a great prequel, obviously, I don't even know if it's fair to say spinoff of Power,
Mhm.
just because there's one is the prequel, but it's such a show that could live on its own. Like, if you didn't even
It
watch,
really
you
is,
need to watch
yeah.
the other Powers. Obviously, they come afterwards, but like, you can watch this without it and have a whole, like, not even care about Ghost Tommy,
Yeah, and you
Tariq, you know?
Yeah, and you can tell there are some people on social media that are just watching Aries and Kanan because they'll say things like, "Can't wait to see Kanan die," or something to that effect, or just things that's like,
Yeah, and
"Oh,"
you know,
like,
for the people out there, be nice to them. Let them have their little
right.
experience, Okay, but I'm like, and as I, spoiler alert, as I fast forward to something, I saw a clip what I totally forgot when Kanan was like, "Yo, I just got finished seeing my mom's before I came over." I'm like,
Mhm.
wait a minute, maybe Rock doesn't die. We've been predicting that all before, like, what's going to happen with Rock? But
Yep.
um, I don't know, man. This is this is so crazy. What is her fate? Because she's at so many wars. How can she survive?
Right.
But
Right.
if there's a woman who can, it's Raquel Thomas.
It really is. It really is. And she'll end up, and unfortunately, I don't think that's gonna be the case for a lot of our, favorite characters.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. So let's get into Jukebox. Because she is getting further and further into the business. She
Mm-hmm.
wants to now move weight herself. She wants like a whole team. She goes back to the guys that she used to pop trucks with, and she's like, "Nah, this is it." Goes to her little shorty and gets her into. I'm not sure if the shorty agreed to like work for her just yet, but she's assembling her team, so she's about to be moving weight in the same way. She's joining a family business, and it's so crazy because even Marvin was like, "I never wanted you to be doing this." And when you first watch it, you don't think that Duke is
Mm-hmm.
gonna end up just selling drugs essentially, just like her family. She just like Lou, unfortunately, had a lot of high hopes for just an alternative lifestyle, but now she's in it. You see that, and I call it a heartbreaking scene of her and Kanan when the door knocks and them both reaching for guns.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't help just be like, damn, like these were innocent, not innocent, but these were like young kids at one point
Yeah.
that were like going to high school and just trying to figure had a crush. They was just trying to figure things out, and now like resulted to this. And there's so much that Kanan is up to that Duke don't know, and there's so much that Duke is up to that Kanan don't know, like about her relationship with the cop and how she's kind of in over her head at this point because
Mm-hmm.
she still owe him money, which is why she has to sell drugs. And we were joking watching the episode, so it's like, so your answer to paying back your dirty cop that you have on the take is to delve further into crime to make more money. And it's like that mentality is just
Mm-hmm.
so backwards, but it also makes all the sense to someone like Jukebox. So, you know, she's in it now.
Yeah, and it's sad because Juke was an artist, and she was good. Like, Juke can,
Mm-hmm.
there's people who can sing. Juke can sing. Remember, she
She
was in
can
the church
sing.
singing.
Yep.
So I'm looking. I'm like, hey, poor thing. And not only that, not only can she sing, but also she's like talented, smart, but unfortunately the
Mm-hmm.
military rejected her, and the,
Yep.
the music industry rejected her. And so it's like after a while, you could, you'd be like, you know what? Forget it.
You just fall back into what you know, what you've seen, what
Mm-hmm.
you've, seen your whole entire life. Um, I was gonna say something about Juke. Oh, that's what it was. Juke to me seems like the type of person who will always like if she had obviously the resources and grew up in a different environment, she seems like the type of person that would kind of be good at everything. Like, she's observant, she's smart, she learns easily, she picks up on things easily.
Mm-hmm.
And it just sucks that, she grew up in Southside Jamaica, Queens in the late 80s and 90s, because we know what her life is gonna end up being like.
Yeah.
Um, so now that she knows about Kanan, how does that I don't wanna go with how she feels about Kanan because 'cause we'll get into that, but how do you see that changing her psyche, the way she moves around the world? Because a lot of Raising Kanan is trying to figure out, which is why it's called Raising Kanan, is we meet this psychotic person in the OG Power,
Mm-hmm.
and you ask yourself, like, how did somebody get to this point? Somebody like Juke, how did they and then Raising Kanan is supposed to show us how they transform into these monsters. So at this point, halfway through the final season, who is Juke? Like now, who do we see Jukebox being?
Oh boy. I think she gets cold. I think she gets to the point where it's, trust no one because Rock essentially walking around lying to her, Kanan walking around knowing what he did, still coming to hang out with her, still talking to her, watching how he carried himself as far as his best friend Famous. It was like, yeah, that's old news. We got to move forward.
Mhm.
So it's like famous. Kanan's getting cold.
Yeah.
And he's probably at the point of becoming brick ice. Where she's like, Kanan in the freezer, she in the refrigerator. It's getting
Yep.
closer. And I think that's where she goes, sure, she gonna love her dad, but
Mhm.
it's also like, whoa, you just came in guns blazing. You know what I mean? Because even then, she didn't. Her first reaction wasn't to just like save him. Like, she didn't turn on him. That's what I meant. She didn't be like,
Right.
let's, nah. She is still something there
Right.
where she's just like,
Yeah. And I think she has to wrap her head around it as
mm-hmm,
well. Where it's just, because that's a huge shock.
yeah,
Like, and Marvin is impulsive. He's emotionally driven. And also you have just that rawness of the fact that that was his little brother. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the person, and he ran into a burning house to save him.
mm-hmm,
Like, so he was gonna react the way he was gonna react. But I feel like somebody like you has to kind of like just be like, wait, okay, let me make sense of this. Like, what exactly happened? I spoke to Luda at night. I'm the one that sent Luda to Rock's house,
mm-hmm,
knowing Kanan was gonna be there and it was gonna get staticky. So I think she wants the information
yeah,
before anything else, and then we see how she navigates from there.
yeah,
Because also, I think, as crazy as it sounds, I feel like she's just one of those people where it's just like, y'all are my family. So before I literally watch you beat my cousin to death, let's have a little bit of a conversation. Let me at least hear the full story.
exactly,
you know? Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, this is gonna be, but I think also just her being a part of the game. So now she has to essentially freeze up, because
Right.
she got to go navigate all of that. Everything her father didn't want her to do, she got to do. And also dealing with that cop, and
Mm-hmm.
then we can't forget all the stuff that's been taken away from her. From, like I said, I mentioned her
Right.
music career, I mentioned the military, all that stuff being taken away from her. Shoot, her mother being taken away, all the stuff she dealt with her
In
mother.
many different ways.
Yeah.
By the church, and then she like actually dies. Like, she Juke been through a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Juke has been through a lot, and that's why I'm always giving that the actress that plays Juke so many props. What?
There's got to be something that make us hate Juke. I don't know what it is. We keep think about when we first met Juke. We essentially hated her within minutes.
Oh, this bitch evil.
Yeah. We gotta find there has to be something. And I think it comes.
She would have to kill Rock or something.
Go ahead,
Even though I don't think that's what it is. I think maybe I'm saying from a personal standpoint, just because, like I still don't hate Juke. So I'm thinking, what would have
Yeah,
to be something where I would really just be like, yo, fuck you, bitch.
right.
Although I don't know if that's like if that could actually happen.
Even if she killed both of them.
Marvin?
I'm thinking of scenarios.
No.
What would
Oh,
take? Like
oh, oh
I'm not
God.
going that
This
far
is tough.
to predict,
No, but
but there.
that would be something.
Because just think about how cold she was. She was willing. She said, "You're still going to kill him, right?" Talking about Tariq. Like, you do know that's the plan. Get the money. And then she's like, "Don't tell me you caught feelings for this little nigga." Like, and maybe that's safe for Origins.
Yeah.
That's probably more. I may be jumping on a stretch, but I know like these next 5 episodes. Like, first of all, could y'all gave us 10? I mean, 15 or 20. But these next 5
No.
episodes about to.
Hopefully, like the series finale is a little longer than normal, which is what they normally try to do with these situations. But you know who I do like a lot? That white lady.
Flossie.
The madam, yeah, I like her. Something about her that I really
would.
like. I also like that actress who she's primarily a comedic actress,
Really?
which is very interesting. But I love her character on this. I really enjoy watching her. She feels like a real person.
Yeah.
In that world, especially, she be keeping them hoes in line, especially Kanan ho getting out of line.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know what it is? She got the taste of being with a nigga that's willing to take care of her, who is like, I'm still gonna work because I'm independent. I want to make my own money. But it's like, girl, you really want to be doing this?
Right.
You know what I mean? So I feel like midway to a fucking gig, she's just like, yo, like, cause they probably go to the bathroom to kind of like talk themselves up to it. You know, when they go to the hotel, and it's like, all right, let's do this. And it probably got to the point where she was just like, I'm gonna fucking do this shit. Like, literally, my man can pay me what I'm gonna make tonight in cash. You know what I'm saying? So I can see that relationship not. When I say relationship, meaning Sharita continuing to be one of Flossie's hoes.
I got you.
Which that's a crazy sentence. Like, go be a kept woman, girl.
Yeah.
Like you don't gotta do this. But yeah, I do like her character. I like seeing Marvin wanting to see what more there is out of life. I'm loving the introspectiveness because I'm sure, especially just coming from a Jay-Z concert, as cheesy as it sounds, but like what made Jay-Z's music resonate? What made Reasonable Doubt resonate so much with hood people that grew up like him was because he was introspective. Like he was thinking like, what is what is the meaning of all of this shit? Like, and you can see even before Marvin, that conversation that he had with Rock a couple episodes ago, where he was just like, I'm lost. Like, what is the purpose of any of this anymore? You know what I'm saying? And you see him questioning like the Jewish faith and, him telling Flossie like, her being like, wow, you're like really interested. And he was like, I like when people believe in something. And that just goes to show you. And I think that he regrets not supporting Lou on his I would say extracurricular activities, because that's how Rock's seen it.
Yeah.
As like, why are you busy doing this when you should be working type shit. And it's just like when you think of, like you want me to be a ruthless killer and drug dealer instead of like a musician?
Right.
Like what? But I feel like Marvin is probably at a place where he's like, damn, I wish I would have supported Luke getting out of this life more, and like wanting more out of life.
Yeah. Dang.
So I really enjoy those conversations between the two of them.
Yeah.
I hope they don't sleep together.
Marvin.
I know, but I would like if they were legit just like, friendly and like had good conversations. Like sometimes that's nice to see on TV too.
That's true.
Like, just like platonic relationships like that. And it doesn't always have to get to that point, but that's just me. But we also know he like white girls.
Yeah. What he said, what you call him, my sister? And she's like, oh,
yeah, he's like that mitzvah.
Yeah. No, shout out to London Brown, because he is we know, like watching this whole series, we know he's been killing it. He's been killing the role. But this season, and I think I said this last week, but I'm just saying, like this season, he done turned shit
Yeah. My sister said that she read someone online say that he's carrying this season. I said, oh, absolutely.
He ain't even eat yet. Like, my man's stressed.
He's so emotional.
Yeah. Like,
He's so emotional.
homie ain't been eating, so. But nah,
Mm-hmm.
shout out to him, man. For real.
Yep. Is it time to get into it?
You got anything else you want to hit on before? Because
I think I hit it all. Let me know if I didn't, but I think we have to get into that last scene of the episode.
Yeah. Well, we did. We talked about the delivery boy and Stefano and them just playing back and forth.
Yeah, I call him Linguini.
Yeah.
Because I just think shout out to Unique. Unique is always gonna be on the show through my perspective.
Yeah. Is he like one of your top 3 favorite Power characters?
Definitely. And it really comes down to just me being a huge Joey Badass fan. I love him as a person. I love him. So I love how he plays Unique. And I miss him on the show. He was a good character. He was a great character. I loved everything about him.
Yeah. Nah, this is facts, But yeah, the bar mitzvah. But let's go into it. As we would say, it's time for the main event.
It's time. So you can know by the way Marvin was banging on that door that like you just knew that it was gonna be okay. So let's talk about how he found out. So, and this is what makes Rock such a horrible person because the reason why Rock needed to say that in the moment is because she needed it was manipulation basically because she's being reckless because she feels guilty about it, so she's lashing out, and because she needs Marvin on her side, that's when you blurt out that Kanan killed Lou, and that like you didn't even pull him aside. It's in the middle of some bull after they killed that little delivery boy. Like, really, ma'am? You know, it's like because I feel like if it didn't serve you, she would have kept that shit. She would have held that shit down. She would have took that shit to her grave.
Yeah, that was wild. Like, again, it was another. I mean, I guess you think about it. That was the way it was going to come out. Like, she wasn't going to be able to sit down at dinner with him and be like, I got something to tell you. Right. That was also was a way to redirect it from her. You know what I mean? Because again, like if they in the house or all that stuff, even if she would have told him immediately, he would have blamed Rock. And who knows? Marvin, even though it seemed like unrealistic, Marvin may have snapped on Rock. Just for the simple fact, it's like, but your shenanigans caused our baby brother to get killed, and then you dumped him on the road. You made it seem like it was unique. Had me going after somebody, put my life in danger. But telling him in that variation was just like, oh, okay, because she knew. But also, like, you didn't even say it was an accident. Like, you got this man thinking Kanan, which he's being reckless, but you got this man thinking like, oh yeah, he just out here killing motherfuckers. That's the shit that was crazy. Damn.
And it just makes me so like, you're the reason he is why he is the way that he is. Like, you really fucked that little kid up. And you see when Marvin was beating him up, he was saying like, I always knew you was no good. I always knew you needed your ass when you ain't have a father to whip your ass, basically. Like, and just coming from a black family, like Kanan was probably that, because Marvin's just his uncle, obviously, like looking like, you're gonna have to tell that, little nigga that little nigga be
yep.
and he has asked, like always saying like, oh, he don't get disciplined enough. And then they end up Kanan being literally like the worst case.
Everybody who has that bad kid in the family have seen, if it hasn't been you yourself, you've seen an uncle or aunt tell their cousin, it's like, that's gonna be the one. You're gonna have to
Yep. Well, like he not getting disciplined enough type shit. But yeah, he ends up Marvin puts the beats on Kanan. Oh my God. them heads, and you could see what after he opens the door, you could see Marvin's hand is all the way back, and them heads are
Somebody
like
said all the way back
oh
from
my,
season 1.
yep,
Uh,
yep,
But
oof,
see, we gotta remember too, when Kanan caught his first body, who was it that helped him cover it up? It was Marvin. So Marvin can say, "Oh yeah, you should have been had your ass whooped and all that."
That's true, but you was getting him into some shit too early
Exactly,
on.
exactly.
And y'all was trying to hide it from Brock.
Mm-hmm. You know,
So you're right, Marvin. You wasn't always the good influence on him either.
right? And Marvin's grown. We know that, but he has a hand in raising or the lack of Kanan. So that's the thing. And but that beatdown was something else. I think it was also like that was, how can I say it? That was almost better than killing him.
Yeah.
When you think about it, because it's like you take him out. All right, we don't know his
Did you
face.
seen the
But now you gotta walk around looking like that. You gotta live with that.
And you're gonna remember what the older Kanan voiceover said, like those are the ass whoopings you remember. Like those are the ass whoopings that they change you as a person.
Yeah.
And I can see because he was like this close, and it's so hard for me to watch people get beat. Like I've watched people get beat up like that. I shouldn't say watched it in person, but I've seen fights where I cannot watch people. But something about watching Kanan because he deserved it. And I miss Lou, and Lou did not deserve to go out like that. And I feel so bad for that family. I watched it a few times. Like a few times. It finally came out.
Yeah. Sometimes you
great scene too.
Oh yeah. For
the blood on the walls and the hand and all of that.
Mm-hmm. And see, that's that. There's certain times when people got that hero strength. And that's what Marvin had, because that was avenging his baby brother. Not that Kanan could have did anything with Marvin at that age. Because remember, just last week or the week before last, he said, "Come work for me," and he said, "Man, you what did he say? Y'all in Little League or something?" He said, "I'm a gangster in the streets. Like this is why I ain't working for you." So like Marvin got experience. Know.
Yes, he did.
So it's crazy. And
well, we know.
I was saying the sad part is Marvin been trying to be a good person this whole time, right? He's
been changing. He's grown.
He's recognized, like, even as in his ways of like going to church. He's like, look, you know what, Pastor? I don't want to do the right thing. I want to like get revenge. What if, he's trying to figure it out. He's asking Flossie about the Jewish faith. But then look what he's doing for the little girl. You know what I mean? Right. He went back to her this week and was like, what did they tell you? They know she lying, but he's still like, because he was protecting her at the end of the day. He's trying to do the right thing.
I forgot that could also blow up too. Because everybody's like, they seen a black guy running from the house.
Yeah.
She's like, white guy with tattoos. So that's not going to end well either. So, oh God.
The walls are
I feel for that
closing in on Marvin Thomas. That's the problem. That's the sad part. Oh man, I hope Kanan don't get revenge. I know he's talking about getting even.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Oh boy.
It's gonna get crazy. But my prediction is that Breeze is gonna take out Marvin because Marvin is not gonna let up. And I feel like Breeze is gonna Breeze don't really care who he got taken out.
Yeah.
So like that's that. So once I feel like Marvin becomes a threat, because it's not like Marvin's gonna stop. And like Bree said, it's a weakness on the street if people see Kanan fucked up like that. So they're gonna need to make a move, and I can see Breeze making a move on Marvin. So I don't know.
Now, what does that do for Juke and Kanan? How do they come back from that? Unless that's just a secret Kanan keeps forever.
I don't know.
See, this is where shit get complicated. Cause like that's her dad, regardless.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know, man. I ain't happy about it. God dang it.
I'm not either. I am not ready for the second half of this season. The first season already, it came in hot.
Mhm.
Halfway is hot. I guess that's why they got to give us a little breather next week because there's not going to be a new episode until the following Friday, unfortunately.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm ready for it.
Yeah, speaking, I'm sick of these. These little breaks.
What the
Yeah, I
break?
don't like
I
breaks,
know.
man. I be needing my
Me
shows
either.
every week. Like we dealt with this on our other show, Beyond the Gates. You know.
Yep.
But at least they wasn't the same week, I guess, for the sake of 6 Heart
Yeah,
Media.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, but I do like the
Yep.
memes.
Me too. Me too. Social media makes watching any power so much better.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love it. But I want to thank you, Brian H. Waters, for joining me on this episode of For the Love of Power, recapping an intense episode of Raising Kanan, episode 5, season 5, episode 5, right straight through in the middle. Oof. What a time. What a time.
Right.
But make sure you hit that subscribe button. There'll be more power content coming. Even though we don't got a new episode, we'll definitely bring you some good stuff. So make sure you are subscribed, hit that like button, hit the hypes, leave a comment, follow us on social media For the Love of Power, and let's get into it.
Absolutely.
Hey fans of the Power Universe, thank you for tuning into this week's episode of For the Love of Power. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, and leave a comment, and we'll see you next week.